Today's video is actually inspired by a few comments I've been getting recently, and I feel like this is literally the universe. This is the way the universe works, right? When you're a spiritual entrepreneur, you will notice this. When you're a spiritual being, you will notice this. If you've been in the space of manifestation, you know this, right? The universe's test. It's not actually a test. In actual reality, what's happening is the universe is shifting based on energetic frequency. And when that happens, oh my God, I sound bunged up. Anyway, it's shifting seasons over here in the UK. So when the universe shifts, when you set the intention of, I want this, right? If you quantum jump, which means that you are literally bringing that reality to you because you've aligned every part of you on that frequency, then it feels like an instant. This is where that overnight success comes from, that overnight manifestation, right? It's how I manifested my soulmate and things like that. It just happens within like a day or two. It's because everything around our reality is operating on frequency. And when we become a match to that, it literally has no other choice other than to shift. Like everything is just like boom, 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 done, right? But what happens is because for us, it's quite quick, and our brain is literally like, wait a second, I'm still in the old identity. Part of you can still be in the old version of you. I'm going to give an example of how this happened in my soulmate, and then I'm going to share with you what exactly happened in this business space, because I'm now shifting, my identity is shifting to this next level me in my business. And guess what? The old identity is coming up now. It's being shown in my reality, and I'm noticing the way that I actually view these things are very different because I am now stepping and embodying that next level identity of me so much more deeper. Okay, so example of this is when I manifested my soulmate about 6 years ago now. He was nothing like any of the relationships I'd had before because I didn't know what real healthy love looked like. I didn't know that there was no chaos, that it was super chill. There was no intensity from him. And because my old identity grew up in chaotic, intense, really high fucking extreme emotional environments, I took that to be my level of comfort. That's my safety. That had become my safety. Chaoticness had become my safety. It was my baseline. So when I was like, I set the intention of, I want my fucking soulmate. I'm setting these standards from my logical mind. I was like, right, I'm no longer settling. My emotions were all on board. There was this switch that happened where obviously I had aligned my energetic frequency to soulmate energy, but my old identity was still trying to play catch up and trying to hold me back, right? Because that's what it knew as safety. And this happens in your business as well. Every time I've elevated to new pricing, to new offers, I've burned like some of the old stuff down and building my new way. There will be signs of this in the universe that will pop up and you'll be like, fuck, why is this happening? And then it's so easy to go back to the old because the old is the comfort zone, right? The new is the unknown. But what you have to do in those moments is go deeper into the unknown instead of staying in the old identity. So when my soulmate, when he came through, obviously it was really calm, it was really chill, to the point where I was actually questioning, does he actually fucking like me? Because he's so chill. Like he's not over intense. He's not obsessing. He's not jealous. He's not like all of these traits that I was so used to and controlling. He's none of these. And I was like, okay, for 4 months, I was like, okay, fine. Maybe it's just who he is. And then I started going in the other way, going, maybe he's gay. Maybe he doesn't actually really, really like me. Maybe that's why he's not showing those signs. And it was still like I had calibrated to the frequency of soulmate energy, but my identity was so deeply wired with the old patterning that it still kept doubting, even though my soulmate was right in front of my face. I can safely say to you guys now, it's 6 years along the way, this doesn't happen anymore. I don't think that way. I don't feel that way. That old identity is completely gone. It took me a full year to get there, okay? A full year, maybe a year and a half even, okay? So this process can take a while. So be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself is what I want to say to you. Even in business, it's the same thing. Anyway, those old identities came back. And then the test from the universe was my ex coming back. And this wasn't a narcissistic, toxic ex. This was like a decent ex who we had a solid friendship. It was really good. I was married to him when I was 19, like backstory. And I really threw a spanner through words because I was just like, oh my God, my ex has come back. And like, this person is my soulmate, but is he? And is he the right one? And all of these doubts were coming up because the old familiarity of like that comfort was just kicking in so strongly. And in that moment, I chose discomfort. I chose the soulmate, even though my mind was tricking me into feeling like, is this the right choice? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, this is the right choice for me. And I moved forward through it. I moved through that fear, right? The anxiety, the fear, the old, all of that stuff. Now in my business, I'm now also evolving. I'm like, I'm done with this regular like low cash months, like 5K months, blah, blah, blah. I want to set like 10K months, 20K months, 100K months, whatever. And I've been doing all this work, the shadow work, the inner work. I went to Arundathi's event. Like those of you who have done a video, go check it out. and obviously his experience is the shift experience, right? And so these were all the intentions behind me setting it. I've got a new mentorship space. I've invested a heck shit ton of money into that space at the moment. And she's an amazing mentor. And all the deeper work that we're doing is about this new identity. And as I'm doing it, I'm taking new action steps. I'm moving differently. I'm thinking differently. And what I've noticed, as soon as I made that switch, my views on YouTube have dropped, significantly dropped, right? So I'm used to having like, my baseline on YouTube has been about 200, 400, 500 views, right, per video. And this is nothing like TikTok. Like TikTok, obviously, I've grown it to 12,000. And again, actually, the views have plummeted there too. So there's a couple of things we can do. And this is where I want to role model to you the exact evolution that sometimes this takes. And this is normal across the board for business, right? So my views on YouTube have tanked. Now, in the past, this has happened. And in the past, the old identity has received comments from people who are like, oh, you're not reaching views on this platform because of this. Let me do your thumbnails. And I've been like, okay, cool. And then they've done the thumbnails and it's still the same. Or it might have performed a little bit better, whatever the thing, right? But I don't look at that stuff anymore because when I grew my TikTok, I had the same types of things. And guess what? I ignored most of them and my TikTok still continued to grow, but it had seasons of dips and ups. That's just the way the algorithm works, right? But there is this collective mind that you can buy into if you're not careful. And this is where my next identity doesn't buy into half of this bullshit anymore. And you'll notice on some of my videos, you might see it on TikTok, somebody messaged me, and on here, somebody messaged me saying, oh, Janie, your videos aren't working because of this, because of your thumbnail. Let me create them for you. And they're obviously doing their business. That's the way they grab people. But it's our responsibility to hold our identity in that new frame of, is this true for me or not? And then when I reflected back, I was like, I've grown my Instagram without anybody's help, without the thumbnails. I created my own stuff. I believe in the law of divine timing. When I created my TikTok, again, it was the same thing. When I do this YouTube thing, again, the right stuff, the right thumbnails will automatically just pull the right people in at the right time. I strongly believe that. And so for me, I started going, is it? And then I was like, no, Janie, this is the old version of you. This is the old version of you who didn't know business 5 years ago, who was like flowing along, experimenting. I'm no longer that version anymore. I'm now this version who knows what the fuck I'm doing. I've grown multiple accounts. This is not new to me. And I don't buy into that whole thing of like, this is how you grow YouTube. There are YouTubers who have grown their accounts without any fucking thumbnails. And there are YouTubers who have grown with thumbnails. Like, it does not matter. When it's your time, it's your time. And when you are making an impact and you're pouring in with love and soul, and then you are able to detach from that, things will pop off. It always does, right? I had a video on my TikTok as well. This is for some of you, because some of you might need to hear this. I had a TikTok video. Actually, this YouTube video, the most popular YouTube video on mine on here, actually didn't take off for about a month. It was stuck on like 12 views or 20 views. And then all of a sudden, it just started popping off and I was noticing loads of more subscribers coming in from that one video. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay, cool. Same thing on my TikTok. One video that was shapeshifting. It's actually pinned at the top of my profile now. Same Alchemy with Janie thingy if you want to go follow it. But on there, it was like how to be a shapeshifter, because someone had asked it in the comments and I did a reply, and it was like on 47 views or something. A year later, this is not a couple of months or weeks, guys. A year later, it popped off. It's the most popular viral video on my platform on there, and it got like 100,000 views. So a couple of lessons for you to learn and take away from this that I really, really want you to understand is it takes time. So sometimes if I had pulled that video back and I'd gone, oh, it's only got 47 views and deleted it, I wouldn't have grown that to 100,000 views at this point, right? Because a year later, your job is literally to sow the seeds. And I got this from Aaron Doughty's event. It's so drummed into my head now because he repeated it over the 3-day event so deeply. And I love it because I work with repetition, right? And he drummed it in of like, you need to water the plant. It's not your job to make it grow. And so with your social media, you are watering it every time you pour in your pieces of content. As long as you're pouring from heart and soul and alignment, the universe's job is to allow it to grow and to make it grow, not thumbnails and not all the other stuff. Like, when you focus too much on that side of things, you actually get lost in it rather than focusing on your mission, your vision, your why. Okay. So I just want to leave with this short video of like the main things, the main takeaways that you can take from this is, even the most viral videos for me have not brought in sales. That 100,000 video has only brought in followers and subscribers, which is great because you need that for connection and network building and credibility in what you're saying. But at the same time, I have 50 or 100 view videos that have brought me in sales. And I've had lives that have 10 people in it that have brought me sales. And I've had lives that have 200 people in it that have not brought me sales too. So it doesn't matter about the numbers, you guys. As long as you are doing your work and you are pouring in your heart and soul and effort and you're being of service, genuine fucking authentic service to the world, to your community, it will come. That's up to the divine timing. You have to surrender to that. That's the law of detachment, okay? Subscribe if you're new here, like this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Mwah.